Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today for this WeSys webinar. We are so happy to have LinkedIn, our strategic partner, join us as they are speaking on the exclusive look at the LinkedIn InfoSec team. My name is Lynn Dome. I'm Women in Cybersecurity Executive Director, and we often go by our acronym WeSys, and it's spelled W-I-C-Y-S. And we pronounce it WeSys, like We Sisters, because that's exactly what we are. We are a global cyber sisterhood. So our mission is to recruit, retain, and advance women in cybersecurity, and we do so by creating opportunities. We have over 5,700 members with representation in over 70 countries. We also have 52 professional affiliates, and professional affiliates are mini WeSys organizations, and they're all throughout Africa, Australia, Canada, France, India, Pakistan, the UK, and throughout the United States. We have specialty affiliates like WeSys Critical Infrastructure, WeSys Artificial Intelligence. We have one for cloud security, one for BSO. We have a WeSys LGBTQ plus Pride, WeSys Military, one for neurodiversity. We also have one for data privacy and cybersecurity law, and so many others. On top of that, we additionally have over 180 student chapters with a global student chapter initiative of reaching 23 more countries by the end of 2023. So what we do is we create opportunities. We have many different skill development training programs. We have an online member forum where all our members can network and connect. We offer scholarship grants and awards not only to our conference that's coming up March 16th through the 18th of 2023 in Denver, Colorado, but we also offer scholarships, grants, and awards for other conferences as well. We have speaking and media opportunities so our members can be what others can see, and that's the cybersecurity professionals that they are. Our Job Board Plus Plus is available for our strategic partners to recruit from and post their jobs in year-round. And we have apprenticeships, internships, market research, leadership summits, leadership series, leadership workshops, all that and so much more. We owe all that as a special thanks from our strategic partners, AWS, Bloomberg, Carnegie Mellon Software Engineering Institute, Cisco, Fortinet, Google, Intel, Lockheed Martin, Meta, Microsoft, Optum, Sadia National Labs, SentinelOne, and of course, LinkedIn that is bringing us this fabulous webinar here today. So if you are joining us and interested in all that this LinkedIn InfoSec team has to offer, we encourage you to ask a lot of questions. This is your time to get your questions answered live. In addition to that, at the end of the webinar, we encourage you to take the survey. The survey is available at the bottom of your screen, and we encourage you to take that survey in order to qualify to be put into a raffle to receive 3 months free of LinkedIn Learning, which is fabulous. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the WeSys newsletter. First, check us out at WeSys.org and see what else you want to get involved in. And then also subscribe to the newsletter to never miss a beat. And so with that, I'm going to end these slides over here. And without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic on over to Tanvi to take the conversation from here. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Lynn. So welcome everyone to our exclusive look into LinkedIn InfoSec. My name is Tanvi, and I've been working at LinkedIn and in information security for the past 3.5 years. Currently, I manage our defense infrastructure team, which works closely with our incident response team to provide data and tooling for defensive measures. I'm really excited for all of you to get to know more about how our organization works, get to know a couple of teams deeper, and get a little bit of a deep dive. So let's get started. As an organization, LinkedIn is dedicated to keeping our company and all of our members secure while using the site. Our central operating goal is site up and secure, and obviously InfoSec is a key part of making that a reality. As you can see, our core mission is to empower LinkedIn to create a secure and thriving platform for every member of the global workforce. It's really important to us that all of our members are able to trust the platform that they're using to be able to find jobs, make connections, etc. So I'll start with a little bit of an overview of the different types of jobs involved in security, and then we can go deeper into some of these specific teams. Everyone across InfoSec at LinkedIn is split across multiple pillars focused on different areas of security, with specialized engineers to provide guidance and leadership in the area itself, and generalists to build solutions that can work across the company cohesively. First of all, we have Chaitali here with us to discuss the customer and third-party security team, which is focused on LinkedIn's suppliers, partners, and customers. We have Whitney here with us from the GRC team, which stands for Governance, Risk, and Compliance, to talk more about how they manage LinkedIn's risk. We also have multiple different engineering teams dedicated to improving LinkedIn's security posture through different efforts. For example, we have Sindhu here to discuss security infrastructure and security engineering, both teams that are dedicated to building tooling, automation, software, and core underlying systems at LinkedIn to ensure that developers and other employees are building secure software and following secure practices. We have Swati here with us to talk more about our internal detection and response team, which focuses on being LinkedIn's defenders and handling threats to the entire company. We also have teams dedicated to ensuring the rest of LinkedIn's internal and external software is secure and tested by partnering with the rest of LinkedIn engineering through things like security reviews, guardrails, pen testing, etc. And finally, we have a team focused on identity and access management, who manage employee identities and accounts, as well as the other various kinds of identities across LinkedIn infrastructure. So with this brief overview of the different types of roles and different types of teams at LinkedIn, we'll jump a little bit deeper into getting to know our presenters and getting to know their teams a lot better.
Hello, everyone. I am super excited to have this webinar. Thank you all of you for joining. So my name is Chaitali, and I am here to represent LinkedIn's customer and third-party security teams. But before diving deep into the functions of these teams, a bit about myself. So I have joined LinkedIn about a year and a half back. However, I have spent like a decade into information security and have moved across different teams within information security, for example, identity access management, governance, risk and compliance, application security, and the other different teams as well. So I would say this space is super exciting for me, and every day it's a new learning because of the challenges outside and the meaning that we bring to our organization and our members. It's always a great challenge and a daily learning for the being in this InfoSec group. Now diving deep into customer and third-party security teams. So while I belong to the third-party security supply security team, we also have a team called Customer InfoSec Consulting and Privacy Confidence team. So basically, think about something valuable which you are in your possession, and you want to share that with someone who you trust or who you have confidence in. So basically what you would do is you would want to know what qualities does that customer have to handle your valuable asset. Now, replacing that valuable asset as an information as an asset, I would say that's what the job of customer infosec consulting team is. They nurture confidence, they nurture trust into our partners, into our customers, in terms of build showing them how we are securing their information when they trust us and deliver their data into our environment. And how do we do it is by answering all their questions, all their doubts related to how information security program works within LinkedIn. We help them with our certifications, that is like ISO, SOC 2, PCI, and other pen test reports whenever they are required to be shared. Also, we help them with answering queries in terms of specific asks which they have for the way we are handling or securing their data. So this is how the team closely works with our internal teams. Plus, they are facing our customers in order to build that confidence and trust, to get that transparent visibility into how we are securing their data into our environment. The second team that you see on the right side of your screen, that's third party suppliers. And suppliers can be like when can also be called as vendors. They can be also called like they are the partners, they are sub processors. So what this team does is, when this is contrary to the customer infosec consulting team, what we basically do is we want to make sure when LinkedIn data is transferred to other suppliers or they are handling our data, we want to make sure that they are securing our data to the highest level of security that we handle their data with. So we want to make sure that we have performed the right level of security due diligence when they are handling our data. And how we do it is on day-to-day basis. When our business requester tells us that they want to use an XYZ tool for achieving their business goals, we want to make sure to communicate and help them and empower them to take a risk-based decision by doing a security due diligence of the supplier. And how we do it is by, again, we want to ask them the questions around how they are going to secure our data. Have they the right controls in place? Have they done the right compliance certification? So it's a quite exciting space to learn, keep learning on the technologies that are out there and see to it like how they are securing our data within their environment. And we also, once we have onboarded these third-party suppliers into our environment, we want to make sure that whichever supplier is critical to our businesses, we want to make sure that they are added into like a continuous monitoring program within LinkedIn information security environment, so that we are having the right level of visibility into managing our businesses. So I hope I have given you enough information about customer and third-party security teams, and you're excited about diving deep into our Seek team, wherein Swati will talk about how we manage our incident response and detection pipelines. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Chaitali. Hello, everyone. I'm Smati Chandrasekhar. A little bit of myself. I've been with LinkedIn for about 6.5 years now. I started off as a security engineer, specializing in the incident response silo, and currently I manage the incident response team at India. Just getting into the team itself, we internally call ourselves as Seek. We're responsible for both detection engineering and incident response for LinkedIn. Our primary mission is to protect LinkedIn and all of its assets from any kind of damage that can happen through theft or breach or abuse. And we do that through proactive security monitoring and doing comprehensive investigations. So you might ask us like what Seek means. It's actually something that was derived from our motto that you can see from our logo here. It's seek those who may do us harm and destroy them. So we essentially hunt for malicious things or malicious activities in our network, and we try to mitigate any threats. So on a very high level, you can see that our team comprises of two silos. We have the detection engineering silo and then the incident response silo. About the detection engineering silo, these are security engineers who try to build detections first by improving our security visibility posture, because the alerts that we build are basically developed by correlating from several security logs that we get. So detection engineering and security visibility kind of goes hand in hand. This team works very closely with our engineering team and several other partner teams to make sure that we have a very comprehensive security visibility posture here at LinkedIn. And by improving the security posture, we correlate all the logs and try to develop custom detections to detect any malicious or any anomalous activities. There's also another part where this team tries to build detections based on threat intelligence. So there's like proactive threat hunting that happens as well. For those who might not be aware of the term threat intelligence, it's basically information that is derived by carefully curating information from various sources about attacker techniques, or like some new trends that we're seeing that's directly targeting a specific organization. So we curate those information and do threat hunting and try to proactively hunt for any malicious and anomalous activities. Moving on to the incident response silo, I would kind of uh, think about this team as like one of the first line defense teams that is responsible for responding to any security threats for LinkedIn or its assets. So this team, they basically investigate into the security alerts that the detection engineering builds, anything that's of critical nature. And they do in-depth investigations and try to identify root cause. So for example, let's say we see a malicious callouts that's happening at a very high rate within a network. This team would basically try to find out why this is happening, right? Like, is the traffic that we see actually malicious? If so, what is causing this traffic? Are there other is the machine from where this traffic arises, is that considered as compromised? Are there any other assets that's also compromised? So they basically try to answer several of these questions to build a cohesive story about how and when any anomalous activity is happening, right? And once we do this, and as we do this investigation and try to identify any compromised assets. And by assets, I mean, say it could be like user identity, service principals, or any systems or servers for that matter, right? As we identify these compromised assets, this team also works to respond to these threats and try to mitigate them at a very rapid at a rapid scale. In order to do that, this team also developed several automations, so that way we can respond to these threats rapidly and try to mitigate the threat in a matter of seconds or minutes, right? Outside of outside of performing comprehensive investigations and automation, we also try to achieve for operational excellence by carrying out so quality assurance of investigations and tickets and our incident reports and whatnot. That's a very high level overview of our team. If you are interested in knowing more about what we do, please feel free to ask in the chat or reach out to me on LinkedIn. Now I would like to pass it on to Whitney to talk about our GRC program.
Thank you, Swathi. My name is Whitney Parsons. I'm a Senior Business Continuity and Resilience Program Manager at LinkedIn, and I'm super excited to get to talk to you about GRC today. Before I dive into that, a little bit of background. I've been with LinkedIn for 3 months now. I have a degree in finance, so if you would have asked me when I graduated if I'd be in GRC or InfoSec or business continuity, I would have scratched my head and said, not sure about that. But just a reminder, life can take you down some pretty fun paths if you are willing to take that leap of faith every now and then. I have over 10 years of experience in this planning for doom and gloom space. I started in emergency response, and that lended itself to a natural transition into business continuity and crisis management. Now I'm super grateful to be with LinkedIn after being in retail, travel technology, and the utility industries. Lastly, what excites me about this role at LinkedIn is really just the energy and collaboration of peers and the ability to make an impact on the maturity of our business continuity program. And also want to mention, absolutely love the culture of the company here at LinkedIn. Back to GRC. GRC stands for Governance, Risk, and Compliance. And this visual really shows you the partnership of these functions and how they work together to effectively manage risk. One thing we try to educate our business partners on is every risk is different. And sometimes it may require many different people, a lot more people, fewer people, but managing risk is often a very rigorous process. We also often remind our business partners, don't get stuck in one spot. If you feel like your wheels are spinning, or if you have questions, the GRC team is their trusted advisor and partner. We're here to support them. You may be wondering, how does GRC work? And I thought it would be helpful to go through an example of how that works at LinkedIn. So our story begins when a product is born, and let's say a particular risk is detected. For example, an info security data expert or subject matter expert SME identifies a particular risk when reviewing how data is handled. That data SME would first research existing information. What resources do we have at our fingertips, like policies and standards, maybe some information on data handling. Then they would consult with the GRC governance partner. They could also partner with GRC risk to help identify risk exposure for that particular item. Next, all parties are going to work together to mitigate the risk. That's going to be the recurring theme, effectively mitigating risk, managing risk, and then of course, tracking any policy exceptions that may apply. Leads of the risk team will then present most critical risks to the executive team, higher level leadership readout to ensure accountability, and then review options at a high level of authority. Fast forwarding, after the risk has appropriately been managed, the product team would release the feature, confident that the member data is handled safely. However, our story does not end there. We have a lot of different partners. One near and dear to my heart is business continuity. Our team may want to look further into the risk to examine if there are any other corporate assets or processes that could have potential impact. And then we would work to remediate those impacts or build resilience around that. And likewise, want to give some recognition to the compliance team. They may happen to look at any implications from a risk that would impact our compliance ratings, for example, with external security governing bodies. So just a bit of a recap of GRC. There's a lot of people support this. And now I'm excited to hand it over to Sindhu, who will be covering security infrastructure.
Thank you, Whitney. Thanks for talking about all the exciting work being done as part of the GRC team. Hello, everyone on this webinar. I'm Sindhu Ravichandran. I am an engineering manager managing the PKI team as part of Sec Infra. And just a little bit about myself. I have around 12 years background in information security, working on different levels of the stack. I started off in the enterprise encryption and key management space, after which worked on the network security level, specifically on hypervisor security, and now in the security infrastructure space that I'll be talking a little bit more about now. Before diving deep, I'd like you all to take a moment and imagine a situation where you, as an employee in a company like LinkedIn, were able to view confidential member data, like let's say a physical address of a member or their credit card information. Or another situation where you could potentially view your own interview feedback that was given as part of the recruiting process by which you came on board. Clearly, this would be chaos. It would be going against all sorts of data compliance requirements and just wouldn't make for a safe and secure environment for all the customers as well as employees. So that being said, the security infrastructure team is an engineering team that builds the tools and the guardrails to ensure that we provide a safe and secure environment for data to live in, for services to communicate with each other, and for developers to work with this data and these services in a safe and secure manner. We primarily strive to provide the answers for three main questions. Who are you? What can you access? And how safe are your secrets? So we have three key teams as part of the security infrastructure team. The first team, the PKI team, strives to answer the very first question, who are you? Essentially, when two services are communicating with each other, how do they know who they're talking to and whether they can trust them or not? So the PKI team ensures that every service, every user, every group in a company like LinkedIn has a way by which they can uniquely identify the other, and by which they can communicate in a trusted way with each other, and in a way by which they know who they trust, and in a safe and secure manner. So now that I know who I'm talking to, how do I know how much data I can actually access? What's my level of authorization in which I can access different resources in the company? So that's the answer that the Data Vault team provides an answer to. This team ensures that I now know how much of data, how much of resources, what level I have access to, and it ensures that the principle of least privilege, that is, I can access only that much that I'm supposed to, and nothing more, is upheld as part of our security posture. So now that I know who I'm talking to, as well as how much I can access, my data in transit is secure. But how safe is the data which is at rest? That is secrets, right? This could be database secrets, this could be API secrets, or just some confidential information lying around in a file. So that's what the third team, the KMS and the crypto team provides an answer to. They provide a central place wherein you can store and manage your secrets and keys in a safe and secure manner. They also provide cryptographic functionality like encryption, decryption, hashing, etc., in a standardized way that adheres to industry best practices. So all these three pillars combined together ensure that LinkedIn's online and nearline systems are protected, and our data is again protected from unauthorized exposure. Thank you. Now moving on to a summary of all the different teams and all the information that we just learned about.
Thank you, Sindhu. Hi, everyone. My name is Christina Blizzard, and I'm part of the risk team under JRC. And what we do is risk team works very closely with all of this team and more that were not part of this webinar, but are part of the InfoSec. And we collect security risk data from all these teams, and we translate it into digestible and easy to comprehend data that we present to our executive leadership team so they can make security risk-based strategic decisions for the organization. And I have been with LinkedIn for about 2 years. Before that, I was transitioning from privacy into security, and there was a little bit of legal ops, a legal background. So it's a good, security is not just black and white or red and blue. There are a lot of different avenues to build a career in information security. And that's what we would like you to take away after this webinar, is that the opportunities are many in information security. They're not all technical. And as you see here on a slide, is less than a third of a healthy cybersecurity organization is highly technical. So that gives a lot of non-technical people opportunity to make impact in security. And we need people with diverse backgrounds and with different expertise and different experiences. And also here on the screen, you see just a small percentage of different roles and career opportunities, like security risk manager, something that my team does, and detection engineering, what Swade's team are doing, cryptography, privacy, endpoint security. There are various different opportunities, audit, compliance, policy writing. So also you can find a lot more about these and different information security roles through LinkedIn Learning. There are a lot different courses and classes and information that can dive deeper into information security at LinkedIn and overall what information security is. But that's what we wanted to share with you all today. And I think now we are going to move to a Q&A session. And so the first question we have is, we saw that there is a security review as part of the information security organization. Can you tell us more about what does that mean? And we also have Anusha from Information Security Platform Security team, and she can answer that question. So Anusha, question to you, I think. What does your team do? And tell us a bit more.
Well, hello, folks. And before I start off, I just want to say excellent job, ladies. I think this was a very comprehensive purview of what we do at InfoSec at LinkedIn. So let me start off by introducing myself. I lead the security partners team within the platform security org, and kind of proceeding into the question that was asked. As an org, we deeply partner with LinkedIn engineering, that is all the engineering teams at LinkedIn, to secure the platform on which LinkedIn.com, the product, and many of our other products are built. So what falls within our purview is securing everything right up to the application layer. So think network, storage, compute, distributed systems, containerization clusters. What we do is we define guardrails, standards, and controls, and provide design inputs to engineering to ensure that the underlying architecture is built securely, so that our member data is not compromised through an attack on our infra. And as part of this team, we work pretty much with all the teams that were represented here today to ensure that there is an end-to-end security on our infrastructure. That's what we do at Platform Security.
Thank you, Anusha. We have a question. Hi, all. Are the LinkedIn teams presenting are from India or US? Well, both. We have Swati, who is currently in India, and the rest of the presenters, I believe, are in US. So we have both. We have India, we have US, we have also teams in Europe, in APAC region. So there is representation all over. Our next question, what is a good certification to start with in InfoSec to help break into the field? Anyone from the speakers want to take this question?
Sure. What has helped me is, I don't know if this is a certification per se, but the SAMS courses on a lot of the different topics. I think they have varied areas, but they are really in depth and really hands-on. So you can literally pick and choose what you want to do. So they have been very helpful with kind of understanding as well as being able to get into security.
Thank you, Anusha. Oh, all right. Next question is, where do firewall, IDS, IPS servers fall? So what team is managing LinkedIn firewall, IDS, and IPS services?
I can take this one. So we kind of group manage a lot of these services. A big part of how LinkedIn InfoSec works is through our partnerships with the rest of the engineering organization. So this is actually a great question that highlights that kind of partnerships. We have a network engineering and network operations team internally that our teams really work closely with to handle things like the IPS and the firewall configurations that we have.
Thank you, Tommy. Okay, we have a question. I'm coming from a legal background and interested in the GRC, but not sure where to start for specific online courses or possible certificates that will assist in breaking into the field. Any advice would be appreciated. So I think for me, I can say that I also had a bit of a legal background. I worked a couple years a part of a legal team and legal operations and privacy. So I think what helped me was Security Plus was a good certificate. And then I did also went and got my master's degree in cybersecurity. So I think it's not really, I had time. I thought I had time to do that when I started the program. And it was for me a choice between a degree or certificates. And I went with the degree option. But I think, as Anusha and Tanya mentioned, there are a lot of like SUNS, Security Plus, part of that, courses that give a good foundation on information security. And I think that also legals sometimes get trainings provided that are relevant to security and privacy. So that CIPP, I think another one, they have CIPP, I believe, technical, I forgetting the exact one, but I know that they have something as well. Does anyone else want to add anything to this question?
Sure, I can speak from a business continuity perspective. There's a couple different certifications you can get. I personally have the CBCP, which is Certified Business Continuity Professional, and there are a couple different ways to get that. But if you are interested in learning more about business continuity, that is a good place to start. And they even have some classroom courses so that you can sit with some peers that are trying to obtain that certification to prep you for the exam.
Thank you, Whitney. A question: any open roles for software security engineers? All of our open roles are on LinkedIn. So if you go on LinkedIn page on LinkedIn and look for openings, they all are listed there. That's the platform that we are using to post our jobs. Okay, next questions. How open are the security departments with teaching across each other? The current role that a person is in data governance, but the workplace is siloed and it's impossible to learn or get experience in other areas of security. From myself, and I'll pass it to anyone else, any of the speakers, LinkedIn does, personally, I think I've been with LinkedIn for less than 2 years, and I think they do a great job. There are programs, internal programs, where there are opportunities to temporarily go and work with different teams under InfoSec to get a deeper understanding what each team does. So I've tried that, and it's an amazing opportunity. But I'll let anyone else who wants to add on that an opportunity. Chitali, I don't know if you want to chime in on this one, if you had opportunity on.
Yes, and to add on to what Christina mentioned, like the environment that is provided within LinkedIn, InfoSec is great for learning. So, in case anyone within our teams who wants to learn what's happening within Seek team, for example, or how platform sec works, and you aspire to grow into one of the any teams within within InfoSec, you have the opportunity to collaborate with them and talk to anybody within that team in case you want to learn more, and they are there to help you and try to make a path for you specifically in case you aspire to move within any of the teams within LinkedIn. Especially if I take an example, I have worked not within LinkedIn, but I have worked across various different focused teams, like, for example, identity access management, application security, or GRC. So each team focuses on different areas of information security. So there is a great opportunity to learn, and LinkedIn does support you in your career growth or in your professional growth in whichever team you want to move within InfoSec. So that's really supportive of that. I would hand it over back to Christina or whoever else wants to like chime
Yeah,
into that.
I would like to chime in on this question as well. So there's several programs at LinkedIn where we, help with professional growth and transitions as well. So for we have like a security champions program and other internal programs where we basically give opportunities to people on various different security fields that we have, the work that we do, and try to collaborate on several projects to just give a perspective of what the role is, and if that's interested, help with the transition and whatnot. And that aside, if here at LinkedIn, when if you look at the collaboration across multiple teams, we partner a lot with all our engineering teams, or even with an InfoSec, various teams partner very closely. So there's never we the partnership in itself gives an opportunity of understanding what our team what the partner team does, and how they do it. So it gives a perspective into the role. So it's kind of very open to assist with the transition and whatnot.
Thank you,
Back to you,
Swati.
Christina.
Thank you. All right, next question is, I was a senior database administrator and had some experience in access control, vulnerability management, and backup and disaster recovery. Is security infrastructure a good way to go? I think, Sindhu, it's sounds like it's your question. Question for you, not your.
No, absolutely. Well, absolutely. I think, in general, security infrastructure is essentially where the security problems and kind of converge and overlap with various system levels as well as scale level problems. Kind of the intersection is where we operate. So in that sense, specifically to access control, and how security plays a part in backup and disaster recovery as well, is our core areas that we have focused on as part of our goals, vision, and mission as well. So definitely, security infrastructure would be something that to consider, considering your background.
Thank you. All right, and another question. What skills, abilities, and personal attributes are essential to success in your job, this field? I think for me, I would say that interest and ability to learn is key, because security is often changing, and I think that having an open mind and eager to learn and continuous learning is something that is very important, because that's sort of entering the path of information security is committing to a life of learning, I think. So that is something that I will add for myself, but I'll let everyone else who wants to add to that.
Yeah, I was just going to plus one on that. I think the security landscape is very dynamic. It keeps changing. And the interest and enthusiasm to kind of keep abreast on that changing landscape, to keep a pulse on that, and constantly be one step ahead, so that you're constantly being proactive in the way you're providing security, I think is has definitely helped me in my experience.
Thank you. Anyone else to add to that? Skills, abilities, personal attributes? I think as cliche as it sounds, I think sense of humor and is something that helps. If something doesn't go as it's supposed to, taking it with a smile on is something that is very important. And I think what I personally really like culture in LinkedIn is that we don't say mistakes, we say learning experiences, because throughout your career you will make certain mistakes, is it security or any other. And LinkedIn taught me to not be terrified and about mistakes, because we're all going to make them. And I'm not saying it because I'm a big fan of my team and working with amazing team. I'm saying it because it really changed my perspective of looking at mistakes as learning experiences and taking it away and trying it again with a different mindset. So I think that this is something that I just recently learned as being part of the information security team at LinkedIn. And then we have one more question. What is the difference between cybersecurity and information security? So I think when you think about cybersecurity, it's protecting the data that is found in electronic form. And information security is encompassing cybersecurity in it. That's just how I think about it, is that it's not, information security is not just the electronic form. That's my answer. Anyone else wants to answer the difference between cybersecurity and information security?
I think +1, Christina, to what you said. I know there's a lot of back and forth on everywhere about what is the difference? What does it mean to get a degree in cybersecurity? Do you work in information security? Are there other roles possible? And I think the best answer here is that there is a ton of overlap. There's a lot of cybersecurity roles in information security, but information security is not just cybersecurity, right? There's a lot of other pieces that are involved there as well. And then on the other hand, not all of cybersecurity is encompassed in information security, right? There's pieces of that role that are outside as well. So a lot of overlap, but I think there are differences on both sides.
Thank you, Tanvi. All right, and the last question that we have for now is, when are you planning to open cybersecurity internships for summer 2023?
So that's another great question. All of our roles are posted on LinkedIn for any open roles that we're currently hiring towards, and then our campus recruiting handles the rest of our internship type roles. So I don't know if this would be the best forum to answer that, but I know you can go to LinkedIn and you can go to the university pages in hiring and see all of the open internships there.
Thank you, Tanvi. All right, we are out of the questions, so there is no more in queue. So we have a couple more minutes. If anyone else have any more questions, we'll be happy to answer. And while we're waiting for some questions if they come, I'm going to say that, well, thank you to all the presenters today from LinkedIn, Swati, Sindhu, Tanvi, Chitali, Whitney, Anusha, thank you for joining us as well. And we all will be happy to answer any more questions. You can find us on LinkedIn, add us. We'll be happy to help with anything, answer any questions, advice, and anything that we can help with, just let us know. And yes, we'd like to remind you for that survey at the end that is going to help us to evaluate how we are doing and present better material and better resources for our next engagements. And at the end, there is a chance to get some of the LinkedIn learning, where you can learn more about these roles and other roles. There are also training for some of the security certificates on LinkedIn Learning as well. So there are a couple of questions about that. So might explore and see what you can find on LinkedIn Learning. And we do have a question. Any apprenticeship for career pivoters? I know that LinkedIn is working with the Year Up. That is a program that is doing exactly that. It helps to train and provide career pivots for people who want to change from one field to another. And I know that the Arab is one of the programs.
We
And
we also have Reach, is one other program. Specifically, it's an apprentice program that's designed for people who come from a non-technical background. This apprentice program is specifically technical in nature, so it kind of helps them bridge the gap. It's also in one of our pages on LinkedIn. So if you go to the career pages and look for Reach, it has details about the program itself.
all right. And so no more questions. So I think that's a wrap up. So thank you again to everyone who came and joined the webinar. Thank you again to presenters and WCs for giving us this opportunity to share about LinkedIn InfoSec, what we do, and how diverse and multi-focused our team is. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed it. And yeah, any questions, you know where to find us.